Sunni Saudi Arabia is making friends with Shia Iran and Jewish Israel. On the other hand, it is now locking horns with its Arab brother Egypt. More and more Saudi officials are now describing Egypt as a black hole where they keep putting in money but get nothing in return. And now Saudis have declared they will no longer shore up the Egyptian economy. They will let Egypt collapse until it returns the favor. Experts believe Saudis want to gain control of Egypt's two strategic islands in the Red Sea, namely Tiran and Sanafir. Hi and welcome, you're watching Outright. We tell you the right side of the story. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for such outright videos. Recently, a media war broke out between Egypt and Saudi Arabia. In January, it started with comments made by Saudi writer Turki al-Hamad. He questioned the rising dominance of the Egyptian military on the state's economy. He also wrote against Egypt's behavior of always demanding aid. Days later, Ali Shihabi, a figure close to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, wrote that Egypt is a black hole that will never close unless the government is able to make material structural reforms. Saudis are frustrated because they have so far invested billions of dollars in the country with absolutely no returns. The Gulf Cooperation Council under Saudi Arabia has pumped more than $100 billion into the Egyptian economy. The Gulf states placed $22 billion worth of deposits in Egypt's central bank last April. It is clear Egypt cannot survive without receiving aid from Saudi Arabia. But the message from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is clear. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi will no longer get blank checks from Riyadh. However, Cairo was quick to fire back. Barefooted and newly wealthy countries have no right to insult Egypt, the chief of Egypt's state-run newspaper Al Gomhouria wrote in an op-ed. This media war, however, ended soon, and the op-ed was erased from the website of the Egyptian newspaper. Saudi officials too erased their tweets, and it was speculated that both nations have struck a truce behind curtains. But nobody could erase the roots of this tension. Why is Saudi Arabia angry with Egypt? This question has two answers. First, Saudis want to hijack Egypt's national assets. As per IMF, Egypt is set to face a financing gap of $17 billion in the next 4 years. Where will that money come from? By selling assets to rich Arab nations. Saudis want to purchase stakes in Egypt's banking, port and manufacturing sectors to diversify their own economy away from oil. But nowadays, Saudis are also getting tough competition from UAE because Emiratis also want their fair share of Egypt's national assets. So, this media war could be a hint for Cairo to prioritize Saudi Arabia's interests over those of UAE. Now the second answer. Saudis want these two islands from Egypt, and Cairo is dragging its feet over the issue. In 2016, Egypt handed over Tiran and Sanafir Islands to Saudi Arabia, citing historical reasons. Why? Because Saudis were backing the new LCC government in Cairo on the political and economical front. Saudis wanted Muslim Brotherhood out of the country at any cost. But LCC's decision to cede control over the two islands sparked massive protest in the country. The islands are still under the sovereignty of Egypt, and now it is shying away from transferring the islands to Riyadh from fulfilling its commitment. Egypt has come up with new terms and conditions. It wants American aid worth $100 million to be unlocked first, which the US has frozen on the grounds of human rights violation. And obviously Riyadh is not appreciating this behavior. It needs the islands because it wants to develop them as a major tourism hub. And also, they will give Saudis the power to control Israel's international trade because the islands sit right at the entrance of the Gulf of Aqaba. These are the reasons why Saudis are going all guns blazing against Egypt. The North African country is simply stuck between a rock and a hard place. If it succumbs to Saudi's pressure, the country's economy will be hijacked by the Saudis. And if Egypt fails to meet Saudi's demands, Israel and Turkey might try to oust LCC by stoking civilian uprisings in the country.